solstice, and then they start migrating back up. So that in May, when we start to see monarch butterflies again here in Ohio, those are the children or the grandchildren of the ones that left. So unlike birds that will go down south and come back, the ones that we have released or that we've seen here in the late summer, early fall, they will never come back. But it's really amazing that they kind of breed their way north. So hazards along the way, not just down on the breeding grounds, but things in, that happen in the States and Canada and even Mexico. When we have genetically modified crops where they're basically modified to be able to withstand the herbicides and pesticides sprayed on them. Basically, that kills off all the milkweed. I know of farmers in the day saying, hey, I have milkweed growing through the crops, but nowadays many of our large farms have genetically modified crops that withstand the herbicide and pesticide, but also kill the milkweed. Automobiles are an issue too. Obviously, probably all of us have maybe hit one or hit some sort of wildlife along the way, so that's a hazard. Also, flying above that, they will migrate above. A lot of them will go across that Gulf of Mexico, so sometimes the weather is a hazard as well. This is also a major, major hazard for monarch butterflies. We like it. I'm male. I like to cut my grass. Cut grass. But grass, yeah, it's true. We like to cut grass. But grass, a grassy field in general for wildlife and pollinators is not the best thing. One thing I always encourage people is to, let your lawns, let part of your property grow up a little bit. Plant a pollinator garden, or if you let the grass, the natural vegetation take over a little bit. I'm not asking people to, make their whole yard a wildlife, sanctuary, but little things that we do, even at the parks, maybe cutting a little bit less. We all cut maybe a good bit of grass. So that's definitely a threat, lack of habitat. But now what is Geauga Park District doing to help protect and preserve monarch butterflies? One thing is Paul and his crew do a great, fantastic job of keeping these meadows. If we just let them, if we don't cut them, if we don't burn them, we will not have the right habitat for the monarch butterfly. So continuously, here's a picture of the mowing that Paul does and his crew, also the controlled burns that we do to keep this habitat for the monarch butterfly. So that, preserving the habitat is critically important to the butterflies, for sure. And then also planting milkweed and also allowing milkweed to grow up in our parks. We do a lot of this. And we also have milkweed giveaways. Our Natural Resource Management Department grows, is it John's Country Nursery, Paul?
No, we have a cooperative agreement with Kent State.
Kent State,
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, they have a beautiful greenhouse we use.
Yeah, so they will grow milkweed, and we have public milkweed giveaways. People are thrilled. You give them free plants, and it's awesome. They just love it. We inspire people to get out and help the monarch butterflies. I always tell people the biggest thing we can do as people to help monarch butterflies, if you could only do one thing, is to plant milkweed. It's really a critical thing for the butterflies. So we do milkweed, not only plant giveaways, but we do give away seed packets as well. And we educate people. Our naturalist department do a lot of programs. Our fair building, traditionally every year, I've been with the Park District since 2000, and we have, since that time, and even before my time, we have a monarch display at the fair building. We do public monarch taggings. We get school children out in the parks to learn about the plight of the monarch butterfly. So, and I have to say, Ms. Carnabucci, thank you for your help too. Jolene helped us with some rearing of monarch butterflies. She also gave us a really cool cage that we used this year at the fair. So thank you very much for what you did to help us as well. So yeah, monarch butterflies are critically important. We do a lot of good work at the park to help preserve and conserve this rare, becoming more and more rare species. Anybody have any questions? That's the end. Thank you very much.
initiatives in conserving habitat, meadow habitat, but what are some of the other predominant butterflies or moths that you see in our meadow habitats? Just a few.
Oh, I mean, you got common buckeye butterfly, tiger swallowtails. There's all these tiny little relatives of butterflies called skippers that are out there. You name it. There's this. Yeah, preserving the habitat is not just obviously for the monarch butterflies, but you know, if we don't have that kind of habitat, we don't have, you know, these critters. You know.
Thank you, John.
Sure. Good job.
One other thing, John
Yeah.
maybe mentioned with the picture of the tagging.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that some of the butterflies that you all have tagged have been tracked all the way to Mexico.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is what a tag looks like. These are the actual tags, but they're so small you need like reading glasses or magnifying glasses. But this is what we put on the butterfly's wing. It's like, just like a little sticker basically. And on the tag, thank you for bringing that up, I totally forgot about that. But on the tag it basically has Monarch Watch, which is the organization nationally that kind of oversees this, this program. It has a unique tag number for the butterfly and a website that people can go to. It used to have a phone number on it.
There's an app now too.
Oh, there's an app now too. Yeah, so basically when we tag the butterflies, we record them on data sheets and then we send all that information to Monarch Watch. So if somebody tags one here in Geauga County and then one's found in South Carolina or down into Mexico, we get reports of that. And it's really cool because when the public goes out to tag the monarch butterflies, if they catch a wild one, we put their name associated with it, and then they get a certificate from Monarch Watch that says, hey, you tagged the monarch butterfly, and your butterfly made it to this particular place. I've tagged many butterflies over the years, and one of mine made it to Mexico that I know of, and I got a certificate. It's in my office if you ever want to see it. But yeah, so to tag them, basically we tag them on the outside wing like so. We put it on this one particular cell, we hold it, and that's basically what it'll look like when it's on a real, a pretend butterfly, but this is, that's the way it looks like once it's tagged. So, hopefully you'll get out and plant some more milkweed, and we at the park can continue to do the good work that we do to preserve the habitat for monarch butterflies and educating the public about it. But thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, thank you, John. Moving on, next item on the agenda is 2022 Planning and Operations Update. All current construction projects are reflected there. One that will be added, perhaps by next month, is the Losi Dam project that I mentioned. That is our dam for a pond off of 5th Avenue, where Maple Highlands Trail Spur comes out of 5th Avenue in Chardon, Ohio. That project was bid. We are currently negotiating with the contractor and the other 3 owners to set that final price. And so that will be reflected. That will be reflected on your department construction project updates monthly. So I will keep you posted on how that project proceeds. Anything to add, Matt?
No, just trying to kind of finish up the west woods, the roof's moving along, hopefully we'll get that kind of finished up here by the end of the month. And then the Veterans Legacy Woods heating system is starting to get going too, so those are kind of the last 2 that we need to get moving here towards the end of the year.
Questions on construction capital projects? Now we move on to contract award for professional design and engineering services for Holbrook Hollows. Booming construction project in 2023. So on October 7th, 2022, 3 requests for proposals for professional design and engineering services were received, reviewed, and evaluated for the Holbrook Hollows Franklin Street Connection Project. And there are memos attached and the proposal results in your packet. The proposals have been reviewed and are complete. It is recommended that the Board of Art Commissioners accept the proposal for Peninsula Architects and award a contract not to exceed $91,500 for professional design and engineering services for the Holbrook Hollows South Franklin Street connection. The proposal is within the budget amount for design and engineering services for 2022 projects. I will entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? Now, call vote. Ms. Carnabucci?